Good morning, dear hearts. We are on lesson 83, the third lesson in our review. Please subscribe. We have two lessons to review today, one in the morning, one in the afternoon or sometime thereafter. 15 minutes of meditative practice for each of them, and of course during the course of the day. So, our first lesson for review. My only function is the one God gave me. God has given me one function, one purpose, one goal. I have no function but the one God gave me. And this recognition releases me from all conflict because it means I cannot have conflicting goals. Also, I cannot have conflicting goals because there's no conflict in God. God is never uncertain. There is no doubt in God. So whatever comes and is extended from God to his children has the same characteristics and attributes of the source from which it came. Thought doesn't leave its source. So the function, the purpose, the goal that we have been given will have no conflict in it because it comes from a source that has no conflict in it. I hope that was clear. I am always certain what to do, what to say, and what to think, because God has given me good, orderly direction. But this is also very reminiscent of Lesson 71, which has those wonderful questions of where would you have me go, what would you have me do, what would you have me say, and to whom? All doubt must disappear as I acknowledge that my only function is the one God gave me. And then we are given lines to use for going into our meditation practice. My perception of this does not change my function. This does not give me a function other than the one God gave me. Let me not use this to justify a function God did not give me. That we always use what we have been given for the purpose that it was intended. And God has given us this function of forgiveness in order to heal, not to separate. Remember my function. Forgiveness is my function as the light of the world. So I have this function that God gave me, and it is to be used for healing, not for some other reason, only what God has given to me. We come to this recognition when we realize what it is that we are to see, and we're not seeing through false perceptions, but we are seeing truly with Christ's vision. And when I see truly with Christ's vision, I truly will recognize my only function is the one God gave me. The second lesson to review is my happiness and my function are one. All things that come from God are one. We come from God. We are one. They come from oneness and must be received as one. What comes from oneness will remain one and in oneness. The recognition, the truth is oneness. Fulfilling my function is my happiness and must be, fulfilling my function is my happiness because both come from the same source. God wants us to be happy. Going back, way back to lesson 20 at this point, and this is a phrase that I have used over and over again, and I probably will continue to because it is speaking so many times of what it is the lesson is about. And here it says, you want salvation, you want to be happy, you want peace, you do not have them now because your mind is totally undisciplined. So when I recognize that my happiness and my function are one, I am bringing my mind, my undisciplined mind, I'm reining it in. I'm giving it direction, good orderly direction, for me to realize that only through my function will I truly be happy. I am here for purpose, for goal. It was set for me by my Father. If I do not fulfill that, I will feel wanting because I will know that something has not been completed that was offered, given to me. And again, it was my assignment. I must learn to recognize what makes me happy if I would find happiness. Some useful forms for specific applications. This cannot separate my happiness from my function. The oneness of my happiness and my function remain wholly unaffected by this. Nothing, including this, can justify the illusion of happiness apart from my function. Our happiness, our true happiness, comes from doing God's work. And that is when we feel fulfilled and whole and complete, because we feel that oneness that we are the extension of. Remember also that we would not have been given this function, this goal, if it was not achievable. God doesn't give something to us that cannot be fulfilled. If deity did that, deity would be cruel. There is no cruelty in God. So, my happiness and my function are one because it comes from God, and because in doing God's work, that is where all of my true, real, meaningful happiness resides. Because I recognize my oneness of my Father and my work. There's no conflict. There's no chaos. It is all cohesive and complete, like we are. I hope that helped. Please like, please share, please subscribe, please comment, please pray. And there is nothing more important than our happiness, because with our happiness, we are able to fulfill our job, and we are able to extend that happiness to others. But we must have it first. Namaste.